Yes, people, welcome back to Cass. I say welcome back, but I haven't done the live in so long. I have to apologize. Yeah, I have to apologize. I'm gonna try. You know what it is? It's all mental energy. Anyone that's just coming through to this channel now and hasn't got a clue, this is my channel. This is United stuff. I'm just trying to run stuff slowly but surely, get up to scratch. Today we're going to be talking about Rashford, like all this Italian job transfers. You got Casemiro set for Saudi for 25 million, and you got Ahmad with a new deal. There's quite a lot of different things, and they're talking even Kvaratskhelia as well, or Kvaratskhelia. He's been one that's obviously been tipped for the transfer over to United, even though it's PSG pretty much concrete. I don't know. I don't see how we get someone like that, but we can use that as leverage. And it's obviously Douglas Louise links as well. I don't want to do too much because I want to put up an upload for later as well. So my whole idea, let me just tell you lot for free. This is how my schedule, I think you say as schedule, I think that's the correct version, is literally I'm going to try my best, by the way. You have an upload in the morning. You have a live in the middle of the day, straight after Never a Foul. And then I'll do another one near the evening, late afternoon upload as well, and start trying to get some content out. Because one thing I do kind of miss is like, if anyone's got this far in terms of listening, it is community, isn't it? You get to talk to people, you get to build a little bit better relationships, so forth. Even if you don't support United and you want to give banter, but you have an opinion, you like football, that's all valid for me anyways. I don't just need United fans in it. Like you got to get somebody else that has a difference of opinion that's just not also just your club. But anyways, big up to everyone that's in here. Make sure you run up the likes, will be much appreciated as well. 115 is my first live in forever, so there you go. So much appreciated. Let me know what you think about all this transfer rumors. Who do you think United's gonna bring over into them? Who do you think is gonna go? Obviously there's Kobe Mainoo stuff, whatever. Not gonna dive into that too much, but yeah, man. Let's just get straight down into it. Really, is Rashford? It's Rash. Sorry, that's hooks. If anyone knows hooks, he does this little gimmick. It's like, if we're gonna go and get like Lookman, why can't we? We're looking at Nico Williams. Sorry if I said that, I'm gonna go do. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. It's just that's his little gimmick. But Rashford, there's lots of talk about Rashford. I don't think he's gonna go. I'm gonna say it now. I don't believe his future lies in the Bundesliga. I think it came out yesterday of Rashford saying that he wants to play at a respectable club, like a huge club, that's got history and whatnot. I'm not saying Dortmund don't. They've got respect to Dortmund. They've got a Champions League back in '96. They had a wicked team. They're a good, solid team in the Bundesliga. But when it comes to stature and stuff, it's not exactly AC Milan. Ones that are going to fight for the title. There's Napoli on the table. Of course, that's the latest rumors that Conte still wants him. There's AC Milan as well. And then now, obviously, there's the Como links on top of that. So there's a lot. And I'm pretty sure there's other clubs surrounding him as well. I think this will do really well for him, in my opinion. I don't feel like he should be going anywhere else. I think the Italian league is kind of tailor-made. And you know what? It hasn't exactly, for me, it hasn't exactly worked out United in the end. And I know it's been a little bit sour. I know there's been stuff off the field that we don't appreciate. But at the end of the day, he is one of United's own, whether you like him or not, whether you like his antics or not. Yes, we pay him a lot of money. But at the end of the day, look at McTominay. He's gone. He's thriving. He's out of this toxic bubble, you could say. Even other players that have left. Ashley Young's gone. Like Ashley Young, Darmian went to Inter Milan, won the league, kind of rejuvenated their careers a little bit. Darmian is still there. So I think Rashford would do really well. You look at Leao and whatnot. You look at the hunger he's got, he might even leave. So AC Milan for me is the more pinpoint on track team that's going to go and secure his services. He's been in talks with them. They presented the project. And I don't see why you not want to go there. They've got a new manager. They play 4-3-3, sometimes 4-2-2 as well. That's his settings. And I feel like that's him. It would be perfect for him. I hope he goes there and he scores a lot of goals. We need the money. We need a lot right now as Manchester United fans. We need different positions. We need to be free from players of the past. All players that have come from the regime back in the day, it's not just him. We're talking like Luke Shaw, Victor Lindelof. They come from a bad set of mentality, a bad set of managers, toxic behaviors. They're all a part of that one way or another. We just got to get rid of losers. Do you know what I mean? We got to get rid of these losers, and it's not no disrespect either. It's just facts. It's just we've got to enter a new dynasty for ourselves, and it doesn't mean we're gonna go win leagues because that's the ultimate goal is to win. You know, you're a United fan and whatnot. All you know is winning. In my lifetime, all you know is winning. But then there might be the older heads that listen to this. They went through the 70s, the bad periods after the Busby babes. You know, I'm not too sure if anyone's that old to remember, and that comes on YouTube. But you know, certain United fans have been through it before in the 80s, even. And before United, obviously, Ferguson come back and done what he did, history lesson, yada, yada. But we need to get back as a respectable club because a lot of what Ineos is doing is harsh realities of how far the club's been milked and run. And you know what? Rashford could really be the start, in my opinion. Maybe I'm taking a little bit too far for everyone. Because you might be able to link this back to somewhere in your club. Like Aubameyang was the catalyst of how Arsenal end up becoming a better team, a bigger team, respected again, you know, or feared to say. I feel like Rashford could be that for Man United. Rashford leaving, all the wages off the books. There's only two more players that's on that wages, and they're both about to go in as well. Getting that, you know, Mason Mount's going to be pretty much our highest earner after this if they both leave, if I'm correct. And it's about getting them out. You know, it's gone on for way too long, and we need a recovery phase. And that recovery, I believe, is actually through Rashford. I don't know what you lot think in the comments, but that's just my personal belief. You know, 20, but if they're talking loan with obligation, 25 millions, the rumored price and whatnot, Juventus are now in the fold. And that will link me to the David Luiz talks, because if we're talking to Juventus, they're trying to talk to Xerxes, they're trying to talk to Rashford. That means why should we not also be in the conversation? Like, hold on, wait a minute. Why should we not also be looking at a Douglas Luiz who's out of favor? He's the perfect mold that we need. He's going to be cheap as well, or cheaper than the next. It could literally be a like for like, not swap deal exactly, but deals going one way or another, loans with obligations. I think that's going to be the case for both players. You know, Nottingham Forest are now linked with Douglas Luiz to come out with Fabrizio, I believe. I keep saying believe. You know, Manchester City's tip. Tottenham are interested. There's another player that's also interested, another team in the Premier League, but we should be the one that's the front runners. Imagine Douglas Luiz next to Agate. Imagine that as a pivot alone. If anyone supports other teams, look at what pivots you got going on. United's pivot right now is Mainoo and Agate. Don't get me wrong, but we all say Mainoo should be an option in the pivot and should be probably further up in the pitch. Used as a 10, used as an 8 when need be. And it also means if Agate needs a rest, you might see Douglas Luiz in the 6 who's competent enough with a Cobby. You know, it's a lot of progression there. Different way of playing. Big up to everyone that's in the chat though. Make sure you smash the likes as well. Make sure you're subscribing if you're new or you haven't got a clue what this channel is. This is just me. Again, going to try run up lives every Monday to maybe Thursday, Fridays, and definitely on a Sunday. And there will be plenty of pre-uploads. You might have seen it already with Alice. Big up Alice. Big help, by the way. Rants on a Monday. Might have something coming out in a few hours as well. Ineos can't really do much until they have control of the budget. Until then, Barada works overtime to get the club to run. Yeah. Matthew says hiring Amron kill Mainoo's United's career. I don't believe so. Hear me out on this part. Maybe you're trolling or maybe not. Is you got to understand, Cobby played a lot of minutes last year. Then he went to the Euros, started getting used, so he's got more training. Then came back after 2.5 weeks to go straight into the Community Shield, and then started playing in the Premier League under Ten Hag in that gung ho type trying to play football, which is killing him. He was close to burnout. Now, he's 19 years old. And if you're good enough, you play, don't get me wrong. But he's had to manage him. We talked about United's fitness regime or fitness program. It's been nothing short of garbage, right? So it's going to take time, in my opinion. It's just, again, got to change the approaches with some of these players. We see how many injuries United have had over the years. Look how we've managed them this year. Barshaw, Mount, nothing new, right? Hashim Kvaratskhelia wants to join PSG. Paris offers a large sum. The amount has not been disclosed. So yeah, maybe Napoli might even, if that's the case, then Napoli might make a bid for Marcus Rashford and get him there and then. It could be the case. Kvaratskhelia is going to cost PSG a good amount of money. So for me, Napoli is definitely in this running. I would not exactly take them out of that fold as of yet. Big up Rusty. We need legs in the 8. Douglas Luiz would be sick, and you can set a plate of food on his. Is her name Alicia Lehman? Yeah, man. She's not that bad to look at, is she? Let's not objectify her though, man. I'm like, let's not objectify her. Like, yeah, okay. You know what? This is a good comment. Big up Lumen. He was free and one of our top scorers ever. Defo did work out. Just time to move. Yeah, I think he's been in. I think for Rashford, it's when he leaves, you start looking back on what he's done, what he could have been. He's just been the subject of poor management, poor coaching, and a bad environment of United. And it's like they say, when you come to United, your career dies. Do you know what I mean? So it's nothing. The evidence is all there to support. Look at Martial coming through the ranks. You know, Luke Shaw probably hasn't been managed exactly correct. Maybe hasn't managed himself correct as well. You know, players got to take some self accountability too. It's just that I feel like if Ineos didn't come into that mold, like if they didn't come in at that time and bringing players in certain positions trying to change, then Mainoo would have been the next subject of that. Look at Garnacho. He's not exactly as talented as Mainoo, but you could see him going down that path. Now that fans, including myself, are getting onto him because he's just, you know, he's just not that good in general. And he should be one of those that gets sold, or the name that gets sold before anyone like a Mainoo. Obviously, out of the youngsters at that. Jarl, is that Jarl? Is that how you say your name? Or is it Jarl or is it Jarl? I'm gonna say Jarl. The Mainoo stuff was made up by Chris Wheeler, who's a Chelsea fan, to hire us United fans up because we were smiling after the 1-1 against Liverpool. United fans not allowed to enjoy anything. I think there's some credibility in that, but I must say, as a collective for us United fans as well, or fans in general, just because you hear something that you don't like does not mean it's not true. There might be some truth to it. You know, Kobe's agent could have fed something out to get United going. You know, now look, all of a sudden, Ahmad's contract's about to get signed today, literally today. And then after that, Mainoo's next. That was said about 2-3 months ago, by the way. And they have been talking small talks, but nothing engaged. So from those tweets or whatever that's come out through the journalists, it could have been a little bit of a blessing in disguise. Again, you can turn any negative you need to into a positive. And this is me trying to do that. It doesn't mean it's true, but all of a sudden, all those tweets that come out the other day from different journalists about Ahmad, now all of a sudden, Ahmad's putting pen to paper. And obviously, Kobe's come out pretty much and said that he's happy, you know, he doesn't want to leave, etc., etc. We all, deep down, United fans, we all knew that that was crap. And, you know, they're going to run away with it. This is normal. This is very normal. Cass raiding, Cass big up. Yeah, something like that. We ain't selling mine. You ain't going on his contracts. Yeah, exactly. Where do you guys think Rashford's going to land? Does he go to Napoli? Do you think it's a late runner somewhere? Do you think it's going to be AC Milan? Or do you believe it could even be Como, which I doubt, or Juventus? What's the best fit for him? Because I do believe it's either, for me, it's either, I don't think it's Juventus because of the way Thiago Motta plays, but for me, it's got to be either, however you want to say it, it's got to be Napoli or Milan. It's got to be Milan. Nah, that's definitely not happening. Leao's in form of his life. The naivety to believe United wouldn't sell him if a big offer came through under. Yeah, no. You know what? That's correct, Jack. You're right there. Because if a big offer does come in, United should not just look at it, in my opinion. He's a youngster. Don't get me wrong. It's pure profit. United could do with money and probably invest it in other areas. But that offer is going to be huge. That's the reality of it. Like, we all know if it was Chelsea, they're going to pay out big dollar. We know they pay out big dollar if they need to. But what doesn't add up? If Mainoo wants 200k a week, right? But Chelsea want him. Chelsea don't offer big wages. And I guarantee Mainoo doesn't get more than 120 at Chelsea. United could give him that easy. Do you get what I mean when you weigh both things up? You're going to have to pay a wage and going to have to pay a wage. A fee and then a wage. United don't need to do a fee because all they got to do is probably a signing on fee and then obviously the wages. I'm not saying he's going to be on 150, but he should probably be on what Euro's on, which is about 115. You know, he's on 20 grand a week or 25. Bump up. Like, it's normal to bump up that package. He should be on something between then. Like, I think it should be 80, 90 with some incentives. You know, Euro got that incentive. Do you know what I mean? So he probably wants to feel that he's wanted. But he said he's already come out by Sky Sports and whatnot. He feels wanted by the club. Same thing with Ahmad. 2 clubs approached Ahmad. Ahmad said, I don't want that. I don't want you. I want Man United. Do you know why? Because us fans love them. That's the difference. Whether it's online or whatever, we love them players, right? As players, they feel the love. You know, like, one thing I must say about us United fan base, as much as it could be toxic in any fan base, but compared to others, I'd like to liken Newcastle a little bit about it. You know what? I'll go far back as West Brom even. West Brom's got a decent part of this. And Liverpool, like, there's some players that you just have. And you've in the stadiums, you show that love up for them. Trust me, never onto them. Ahmad have a back. Don't boom because he's one of our better players and he puts in efforts. Same thing with Mainoo. I just feel like we give that a lot. And you know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen with other fan bases. I just don't notice it as much. I'm just going to the ones where it's either back in the day or the type of fans. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I think it's just a little bit different. But that's just me being ignorant, maybe to just United and bias, right? So there you go. I feel like Mainoo knows that, and I think even just away from the fans, I think also the club. I think the club shows what they're doing with Kobe. There's a clear plan for him. You know, I think Amrin will show there's a clear plan and a clear pathway, clear development. You know, something you don't have that with United because we overplay too many. And and look at Rashford now. Again, I'll say again, it's been the subject of bad management with him. And now he's leaving. He should have been a world beater, but he's not, you know. And again, it's my fault as well. At the same time, I've been one of them fans onto him. I've had enough. But doesn't mean he can't be good elsewhere and you can't support him elsewhere. You know, unless he goes to like Arsenal. I ain't gonna support him there. You know what I mean? Or Tottenham. But yeah, that's just my point, anyways. But big up to everyone. I think Rashford will go on loan till the end of the season. Must be with an obligation, though. Can't be just a loan. If it's just a loan, it's a howler. If all these clubs want him, it can't be just a loan. There has to be money with it. Big up Gaetano. Felix was meant to start, but Palmer and Jackson are too good together. Yeah, true. I think if you're gonna go off in a tangent, I think Palmer should go right wing for now, though. I think Felix deserves some time. Yeah, but the thing is with your project compared to United project, you're into your project. You're 2 years in. This is our like first year. Look at your project in your first year. It was a flipping stinker. So again, that's a little bit. You know what I mean? That's a little bit. You can't really compare, can you? In a version, I think the way you've handled your first stint is nothing short of a United stint. But at the same time, you spent way more money than what we could spend, and it was still a howler. You got rid of a lot as well, to be fair. Because he's a mank and he's from the academy. He's got 2 years left, 2.5 years left, sorry, with an extra year as an option that we can trigger. What do you mean there's no guarantees? It sounds like you want Kobe. He's not going to your club. I guarantee. Yeah, I put money on charity that this guy signs a new deal for Man United. I guarantee. I'm not being naive, but again, I'm not stupid. You're not stupid. You know one player I'll take from Chelsea? I like Kevin. I'll still say it. I think Dewsbury Hall's a good player. Now everyone thinks he's rubbish all of a sudden. Doesn't get given a chance at Chelsea. Gets given pity minutes in Conference League. All of a sudden, a bad player. I'd take him at United. I'd take that guy. So you need some legs or options. There you go. There's one. Having him all day long. But yeah, anyways, moving on from the Rashford stuff. You know, they're saying terms have been agreed as well. You know, about the wages. If you saw it, you know, one report says, you know, Milan would want United to pay half his wages on the loan. Another says that they're fine with paying it and whatnot. We'll see from there. Casemiro set for Saudi. Probably the best transfer out of all of them for me. That's probably the best news. And you know what? I love Casemiro, man. Like, for what he done in his first season and when he's used correctly, the guy's a warrior. He's a warrior. And I feel like he's a top model professional. Top winner. You know, you can't buy 5 Champions Leagues. No chance. No chance. But Casemiro is everything a professional should be, in my opinion. And someone should be trying to replicate that as much as possible. One moment you would say, if you take away Casemiro out, then you're losing. You're literally losing that winning mentality of a player that's been there and done it, that experience. But at the same time, again, wages and, you know, again, when it comes to like money itself, 25 million straight cash from Saudi, you know, it looks like he's going to be going to Ronaldo's team. It's perfect for now. Right now, it's perfect. Again, it could be the reason what elevate from him leaving again could be a massive reason why United have a respectable finish in the league, at least. Not respectable, but compared to where we are. You know, if he goes out, I have no doubt that we would go for someone like Douglas Luiz. I'm just afraid with Ineos that they think they can go and get Edison. So Edison's being chased down by a lot of the top clubs. But I just don't think you get him in January. You know, you could use 25 million pure profit and go get Edison. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like if he's going to wait to the summer, wait for the summer to go and get him. If you can go and get Douglas Luiz now and have Edison as an option as well in the summer, you could be seeing a pivots of Mainoo, Edison, Douglas Luiz, and Agati. All of a sudden, if you're a rival fan watching this right now, you're thinking, "Oh crap, that's actually very decent options." We paid a lot of money for Casemiro. Don't get me wrong; it was 60 million was a lot at that time, and it's pretty much what we needed at that time. Low block. If you're going to play a bit of a low block, you're going to play quite compact. You know, Casemiro's he can score goals as well. You're losing out a little bit on that. Don't get me wrong. But the thing is, with United, you have to change something somewhere. Like there has to be a moment where it's like you got to get rid of the deadwood and whatnot. You got to get rid of certain players that you can see that might fit into the team a little bit. But at the same time, you've got to try and move on because you're not going to get a realistic fee out of them because it's been so dire at this club. But I think Casemiro leaving right now for Saudi in the middle of this window, while we can still got time to go and get a replacement. So again, like those names I mentioned, I hope Ineos do focus on Douglas Luiz, where we've been linked at the moment, than Edison. I don't think no one gets Edison this month. Atalanta are flying. They have a good chance at winning the league. I think, and you know what? If anyone knows Atalanta, they play hardball with their prices, by the way. They play hardball. So if you think you're going to go and get Edison for 55 million, guess again, you're not. No, in the summer, there was rumored of 45, 50 million you could secure his services. Right now, as it stands, he's one of Atalanta's best players. You're probably going to have to fork out 70, 80 million, like a price that they can't refuse, rather than just wait for the summer. You know, United needs to act on opportunities. Getting rid of Casemiro now is everything that is needed in this club. It's just unfortunate, obviously, the way it's had to go. It would be nice to get a little wave off or something. Same thing for Rashford. Your last game, wave, goodbye, clap, yada, yada, yada. Pretty much happened in the FA Cup. You probably thought it was going to go. But who would have thought that, as much as Ineos getting critiques and whatnot, they're about to move on two players that are on hefty wages to other clubs so we can move on. But they're not going to get praised for that. And I know, obviously, some of you hate Ratcliffe in it or Ineos and not in favor. I think the price, for me, the biggest one is raising the price tickets to £66 is sickening. That's the one way. It's like you can go and you can make cuts wherever you want in this club. Yeah, by all means, go do that. I don't care. Right at this moment, it's not my money. It's like it's a business. You have to understand United's position, even if it is a little bit of money here or a big chunk there. It's the raising the ticket prices, because at the end of the day, one thing is football should always be made for the working class man for working class money. A ticket should be capped. A ticket should be capped. But that's probably another conversation for another day. Casemiro leaving is the biggest. Again, I don't think it's the catalyst of what we can do, but I think it's still Rashford because he's not even in the squad. But he is a big chunk. Massive chunk. Massive chunk. No, but it's already been confirmed as well, by the way. Not hearing no one concrete talking about your friend Ben Jacobs. No, Sam C confirmed it as well with Ben Jacobs. And there's another one as well. There's another one as well about Casemiro. So, and even the journals in Brazil, these tier ones I'm getting told about. I've asked, are these actually reliable ones? Great. He's not getting his game time either. And now that all the Arabic journals are feeding into it, I just don't know much about them. So yeah, Sam C kind of basically confirmed it, and he's got his sources. Whether you like him or not, because I don't like him, but he's got his sources at the end of the day. But he needs to go, and you know what? Hopefully, hopefully he's ended on good terms. That's all I can say for him. So yeah, but the biggest one again is that one. When clubs get giddy, yeah, you Arsenal fans thought you can come and approach Ahmad. You guys really thought you could approach Ahmad. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a sec. Getting rid of two players is all right. It's can they get the right players in? I'd be worried about with Ineos. Well, you got to say this then, Jack. The players that we're targeting in terms of left wing back, Nuno Mendes, Milo Kirkes, and also Alvaro Fernandez. And there's another one I'm kind of missing out as well. There's a fourth one. Someone else can probably remind me. There was that list, right? They're great options. That's it. Patrick Dorgu. They're great options. So I'm not worried with that list. And the list of central midfielders that we've been linked with recently is 1, Edison, 2, Douglas Luiz. Again, not going to go off of that. The other one, obviously, when it comes up front, though, no, we're not linked with Teo Hernandez. The ones up front is obviously been Osimhen and obviously Colin Wani on a 6-month loan, a dry loan, which is not the worst option, but it's not great. So the options that are being discussed for me is not the worst in the world. If I go, let's just say this hypothetically, like United going because of, let's say, Rashford, Casemiro end up going one way. You end up getting yourself Kolo Muani on a 6-month loan, but then you go get Douglas Luiz and let's say a Nuno Mendes who don't want to sign a new deal. I think PSG don't and United don't do discussions well, and they'll string it out till the end of the transfer window. If United go get those 3 signings, obviously the most iffy one is, of course, what's his name? The iffy one is obviously the Kolo Muani stuff. It's just, I say that's a really really good January window. I don't think you lot can't say that. Ericsson might be leaving as well. That's more off the books. Get a couple million off of him. 150 grand wages left. Lindelof might leave as well. Don't think it's going to happen, but I think he's going to leave as well. There's lots of rumors about that. If you can get those 3 shifted, especially Ericsson, Casemiro, Rashford, United have done amazing. Do you know what I mean? United have done amazing. I think if you could potentially get rid of Malacia, then even better. But I don't. When it comes to all this stuff, I'm not. We'll see. You have to give Ineos time to see if they can prove themselves. So, but with Ahmad, they've got that down to a T. He signed his contract till for another 4 years, if I'm correct, at 2029. So he's extended that. All these clubs that thought they can come and get Ahmad. Who in the right mind thought they can tempt Ahmad? I want to know that. I believe Arsenal thought they can get him, but it's United had to get this one down. Ahmad is pretty much, when it comes to the attack, is Manchester United's most important player. I don't think there's another player that's more important. Him, especially, is the future of what this club needs, and probably more. We need more Ahmads in the team. Especially the way his character is. He's humble as well, and he's just, he's a model for me. Since young, he knows how to carry himself. I think he's everything that United needed for a long while. And it's actually amazing that finally he's getting opportunities to showcase how good he is, because he was absolutely criminal under how Ten Hag treated him. Our best player, just because Anthony was there, that he felt the need. Benny McCarthy said it himself, that he felt the need that he needed to play Anthony because he's paid 80 million for him. So he's going to die on that sword, which he did, by the way. Ahmad, I don't have mad words to describe for this kid. He's just excellent at football. And you know what? I'm just happy we've actually got a good footballer in the team. That's that. Sunderland and Bayern, weird guess. Would Bayern want him? Because they got Musiala, who's having a bit of a mad one, and then obviously Sunderland. I mean, come on, man. I think he loves it. I think he likes the club and everything, but let's not go too far. Juve wanted Malacia. I saw rumors on that. Get me Weston McKennie. Nah. No chance. No chance. He's doing all right this season. I've seen a few things, but nah, that's a low blow. By the way, people, there's 170 of you in here. Please smash the likes. We're on 51 likes. If we can get this the likes up to by another 50, then amazing. Good stuff. Ericsson looks to also be on his way out, but most likely on a free. No new news on his destination yet. Yeah, that's the one. With Mudryk being unavailable, Chelsea can't let Chilwell leave this January. Is that true? Yes, Cass put in ticket up. 66 quid for kids is a disgrace. Don't trust a word. Dirty Jim Ineos 2.0. If you've got that on copy and paste, Dan, haven't you? You've got that on copy and paste. I know you do. You do that like every comment I see after a video. Big up to you, but as well, by the way. Ahmad, Mainoo, Delict, Martinez, Mazraoui. I think you meant Agati, the future of the club. I don't think Garnacho has a future at this club, though. Personally, I think even Martinez's position's up for question. He had a great game against Liverpool, but I think long term there might be struggles there, especially the way we want to play. But then again, as we know, Amram's has a couple training sessions, and a few training sessions last week before the Liverpool game for the first time. People understood their roles a little bit more. Same thing before we go to this Arsenal game. I expect the same kind of thing in terms of understanding how he wants to go about the game. It's only a joke, Cass. Poch played Chilwell on left foot. I see that one there is it's like when Ten Hag played Mazraoui in a 10, because one time in his career he played in a 10. Can you imagine? It's insane. Sane's contract ends, plus Roman and Gnabry are for sale. Roman? Coman, you mean? You mean Coman? Yeah, they're all injury prone though. And Sane's finished. For me, he reminds me of Sterling. He's definitely finished. You know what I needed to do? I haven't done timestamps in it. And I usually am quite good, but when you're in the flow of things, it's quite hard to update timestamps. So I'm gonna have to listen to this back. Ramo, big up yourself. He says, Garnacho and Lissandro are Atletico's future at best. Garnacho probably Sociedad or Sevilla. So yeah, I see Garnacho ending up in maybe even Atletico for the way they play. I can see him ending up there potentially. Not, I don't see he won't go nowhere this January. Not in my books. Some are potentially, yeah. Looking to, I actually, you know what? I actually really like this Leif Davies. Is that his name? Leif Davies? Leif Davies. He's like he looks like a solid player. I'll be real. I think he should definitely be one of the options. He's actually a really good player. Yeah, how old is he, by the way? I used to mock this guy, and look how stupid I look now. 25 years of age. I mean, he's from Newcastle as well. So yeah, and he was at Leeds. I mean, imagine that, Newcastle, Leeds United, like pretty much in that way. I think that's a good pickup. He's got good enough experience. He's definitely got a height. You know, he's like a good 6'1". So I think he's about 6 foot on the dot, or just a bit taller. I think that's a great shout. That's a very good shout. And he's English as well. So I believe he's English. Am I correct on that? If he's English, or he could be Irish or something. But I think Davies would be a Welsh name, wouldn't it? Davis or Davies. Oh, he's English. There you go. Yeah, I think that's a good option. Yeah, he's about 6'1", yeah, or 6'1.5". Like he says 183 on there. So if you're 183, you're just below that mark. That's a great option. Yeah. He's tall enough when we talk about United and height. See, this is why I don't want certain wing backs. But then again, I didn't even notice this. Is it just me? But when you know, like, just to go off the tangent away from, see, a little bit of that, you know, I look at United and think we need height presence as well. That's why the whole Martinez thing's there. But you could bypass that if you've got tall wing backs. And I thought all this time, I thought Milo Kirkes was about 5'7". Is it just me, or does he look like he's mad short? And then someone said, no, he's not. I'm like, whoa, on the pitch, he looks like he's about 5'7". He's 5'8". He's like, no, he's like 5'11". I'm like, really? Because he looks absolutely atrocious in the air. I saw Ahmad out jumping at Old Trafford, literally, Ahmad. And I know Ahmad's got quite a good leap. There you go. But again, the height doesn't mean you're good in the air all of a sudden. Leif Davies is good in the air. I'll tell you that. He is. Alvaro Fernandez, I think that's the most likely option this window for us. Yeah, DeMarco would be a good fit for most teams. But this ain't FIFA, innit? You're not going to go get DeMarcos. You're not going to go get none of those players. You have to be realistic. 175 watching and 60 likes. Big up Lebo as well. If we can rise those likes, look, if I do a little poll, we might remind people, it might pop up straight away. This is why I do run polls. It's a lot easier that way. But yeah, it'll be sick to get to at least 100 likes. What else is going on here? Atletico Madrid wanted Nkunku this window. That could be a shout. You know, second striker suits them to a T. Alvarez, if he's coming out or whatever. So, they could play together. Are the Douglas Luiz concrete? I wouldn't say concrete. I think that's just a buzzword, right? But it hasn't been confirmed by anyone. Not yet. There's no approach made. I think it's just heavy interest. I think it's fair to say, you know, I would say if you want to look out for a journalist this window, look up for Matteo Moretto. Matteo Moretto is probably the ones that's probably more in the know at the moment in Italy. Obviously, Fabrizio Romano's there with his tapping stuff. The one I don't understand is when I'm looking at some of these journalists, is there's like a war between Damasio and Fabrizio, and I'm like, wait, they're both trying to like cancel each other out in some ways in terms of their reports. So which one is it? But Damasio fell off a cliff ages ago. I would say Matteo Moretto is definitely more suitable to watch for this just January window at that. I know Alfredo Pedula was good for when, you know, with the whole Fiorentina stuff. He's hit or miss for me. So I'm not too sure on that part. But other than that, people, what are we on? 67 likes. Big up to yourselves. Like, I'm never gonna do long lives like for an hour. It just doesn't suit me at all. But if you want to go over anywhere, this is gonna go to Fam Zone TV. So yeah, um, we was it Thursday? We might be live. I might be live later on. I'm not too sure as of yet. Not looking likely, but by that, make sure go support Famzone. They're good people. Leon Knightson, ex-footballer, used to play for Brighton, Premier League, all of that good stuff. You got Izzy, you got as well, ex-West Ham footballer as well. He's on. So if you want to go see some insights and some mad takes, trust me, that's where you want to go. So, but in a bit, we're gonna be remember around this time tomorrow. I might be live at 2:30, maybe 3 o'clock, maybe. I might even in the morning, but just watch out for that. But yeah, in a bit.